In this presentation, I will outline how the Global University for Lifelong Learning, or GULL for short, provides practical development pathways for those with limited educational access in the community and those who want to combine learning and working. GULL's logo depicts a bird, a gull in fact, embracing the world. Most of our activities in some 60 countries since the launch in 2007 have been in support of low-income and subsistence communities, and here, alongside local partners, emphasis is placed on self-help. Hence GULL's motto, enabling you to make a difference in our world. Many millions of people live without reliable sources of water, food and energy, often in communities that are blighted by disease and by tribal, ethnic or religious conflict. To make matters worse, they may have little or no support from local, regional and national service providers, especially where corruption is endemic. Sadly, it is still the case that the place where a person is born determines their life chance, and it is in this context that GULL provides its system, structure and process for self-directed, lifelong action learning. GULL also works with people in the workplace in numerous locations, and prior to providing an example from one of North America's largest food service companies and from an African community setting, I will briefly explain GULL's purpose and approach. In 2004, I met GULL's founding Chancellor, who had just been appointed to the role of Governor-General of Papua New Guinea. Sir Paulius is a visionary thinker, and we discussed how we might create a low-cost, non-profit system in response to the dreams of many who are unable to access conventional forms of education, and this is due to a lack of qualifications, money, and often accessible educational infrastructure. Some years ago, when we were writing the second book about GULL's work, the second focusing on our work among young adults, we came across some startling research about the global growth in the youth population and an estimate that some 90% of young people living in developing countries are not work ready. I took the photo shown on this slide in rural Burundi, where many hundreds of youngsters turned up to watch our GULL ceremony. Most have no hope of entering education or training for work because formal employment opportunities are limited. With the support of the Governor-General and Prime Minister of Papua New Guinea, we launched GULL with the aim of creating inclusive, holistic and practical pathways to facilitate self-help and development. To commemorate the launch, the PNG Postal Service issued a limited edition stamp. Our non-profit initiative, registered in the USA, draws on a mandate to confer professional awards based on a statement of recognition offered in perpetuity and signed by the Head of State and Prime Minister of Papua New Guinea in April 2007. This enables us to recognise the significant self-directed outcomes of people around the world, supported by endorsements from other governments, leaders and institutions. Details can be found via the Recognition tab on the GULL website homepage. The starting point of all GULL courses, which we call pathways, is self-directed personal development. And because being good at what you do, whether it is paid or voluntary work, involves ongoing personal and technical growth, we think that the concept of thinking and acting like a professional works well. So when a GULL participant is ready and able to help others to advance, we normally expect them to facilitate the process for others. This also helps to cascade the GULL approach from few to many. In 2008, I was privileged to meet a former Governor-General of Jamaica who had been a teacher in his earlier career. As I was explaining GULL's approach to self-help, he replied, "I believe that there is a genius of God in everybody, and what you are doing will help to bring this out. This, for me, is the essence of self-directed lifelong action learning, discovering and then utilising your unique individual potential to help yourself and others." Over the years of refining GULL's approach, we have focused particular attention on simple formats that enable participants to make changes in their own habits and behaviours and identify and deal with aspects of their own personality and life experience that might be inhibiting progress. This slide lists the 4 areas that all GULL participants must work on. First, we want them to be able to identify and act on their own learning needs. And to start this process, they draft and refine what we call a personal learning statement. Second, we introduce them to the cycle of learning using a diary format to assist with daily and weekly reflection on routine activity so that they can review and make improvements when and where necessary. Third, GULL participants must work with others, including a personal learning coach, that they recruit themselves so that they have a sounding board for their ongoing development. We ask the learning coach and others, such as facilitators, to comment on progress made. Fourth, we want GULL participants to develop the skill and confidence needed to use the cycle of learning to make their own behavioural changes, and these are captured via an outcomes review form where they compare and contrast the before and after experiences of the GULL approach. Personal development runs in parallel with self-help initiatives in the community and work-based projects in the workplace. Also, where training is being delivered, it is always possible to check for correct understanding of the technical content, and by linking with the personal development strand, that appropriate behaviours are being developed. GULL certification is always based on verified outcomes. Participants must demonstrate sufficiency of progress, both breadth and depth beforehand. This aligns well with inclusive, holistic development that everyone can attain. In summary, first, every GULL participant creates their own plan for personal learning and development. This enables them to customise the process to their own life and circumstances. Second, we place emphasis on self-directed development so that participants reconnect with their innate ability to learn and rekindle curiosity for learning. Third, active or action learning works equally well in the community and the workplace, and for all participants, young or old, well educated or not. Finally, the concept of professionalism relates well to enhancing personal effectiveness, and here GULL participants are encouraged to fully discover and utilise their inner potential to help themselves and others. Eurest provide food service to corporations and other organisations in more than 2,000 locations throughout the USA. The Eurest Eastern Division, one of 3 divisions, has been working with GULL since 2008, and over time we've refined a relatively short yet effective pathway that enables 80 to 100 hourly team members to participate in a workplace development scheme every year. The hourly paid team members are an ethnically diverse group, and our objective is to identify, develop and retain candidates with the potential to secure salaried positions, and beyond that, supervisory and managerial roles. This is especially important given the rate of organisational growth, the need to internally develop supervisors and managers, and the desire to better reflect ethnic diversity in the mid-ranking and senior positions. GULL provides a simple structure, system and process to enable UREST's hourly team members to develop at work. Above all, we are looking for enthusiastic candidates, often because they have had little or no prior development opportunity. The pathway we have developed is entirely operator-led, with no HR or training team involvement. And because everything happens in the workplace, including a small group improvement project, it is well integrated with the candidate's usual job role. This slide lists the pathway activities, elements, and time allocation. To begin, participants pose the question, what do I need to learn? And then complete the personal learning statement. Next, over a period of at least 10 weeks, candidates keep a diary based on a series of review questions such as, what went well today and why? What could I have done differently and how? Each day, candidates work on aspects of their personal learning statement and on personal and professional adjustments relating to their workplace role, offering support to each other with formal guidance from a learning coach. Shared learning is also facilitated by a GULL project that relates to one or more aspects of the unit, termed a marketplace by UREST. To conclude, candidates complete an outcomes review form to take stock of what has been accomplished and what they need to work on next. This slide illustrates the role of other people in support of each candidate's own plan for learning, and also the centrality of shared learning with others. Every candidate has a learning coach and may enlist others. We call them specialist advisors, who assist with the acquisition and/or development of specific technical skills. We also encourage candidates to involve family members and others outside the workplace so that skills like time management can be practiced and developed by the candidate in different environments. Every year, we organise celebration events with testimonials, interviews, and GULL project presentations. This slide includes just a few of the many comments that candidates and those who coach them make about the personal changes that have occurred. They typically include reference to enhanced self-confidence and self-awareness, being better organised and managing time more effectively, as well as progress in addressing personality traits that the candidate feels may be impeding their own development, like timidity, patience, and ability to listen. To summarise, since we began in 2008, hourly paid team member retention in a sector with typically high staff turnover has greatly improved. Managers say that this is a development activity for them too, and they enjoy coaching those who they feel have the ability to advance. Year after year, we see and hear about dramatic changes in the lives of participants, mainly achieved over a period of 3 to 4 months. And because the participants are more skilled and confident, nearly all gain promotions, some to supervisory and even managerial roles. I wanted to explain GULL's approach to personal development in some detail, because it is GULL's core contribution, running in parallel with technical development, usually in the form of training and/or self-directed project work facilitated by a GULL affiliate organisation. GULL has supported the African church and community mobilisation process since 2008 in 17 African countries so far. I took the before and after photographs shown in this slide during a visit to Kajukeji, South Sudan in 2012. The traditional house needed to be replaced, and due to the effectiveness of the mobilisation process, community members built its replacement without any outside help. This is one of many incredible outcomes that I've seen in places where people only have natural resources at their disposal, and where self-help is the only option available to them. This house-building example is a lovely illustration of collaborative action learning that brings together both personal and technical development. The two applications I've just outlined are among some 50 examples of the transformational potential of self-directed lifelong action learning, drawn from community and workplace settings. If you would like to know more, the Amazon ebook retails at a low price so that it is accessible and affordable to any who would like to read it. Thank you for watching and listening. I hope you will enjoy your journey with the Global University for Lifelong Learning.